What's up, folks? I'm sorry the lighting is terrible. I didn't feel like, putting on any lights, and I just wanted to quickly form this intro and a conclusion. Also, sorry if I'm out of breath. I just ran a couple miles actually, just to get the blood flowing. So this is actually part 2 of a series where we take these $4 eBay Jason masks. You can find them, eBay, Amazon, anywhere that sells stuff like that. And this is the part 4 video. We're gonna make it into a part 4 mask, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's do this. So the first thing you want to do is obviously take the bag off the mask, take the straps off, and then sand the mask with 120 grit sandpaper to take all the shine off. So I cut out the X cut, or I traced it out, and then I cut it out with the with my Dremel. You can use scissors though, and then a razor blade to get a sharp point. Doesn't really matter. Dremel just makes it a lot quicker. So now I'm gonna prime it with some gray primer, and you can prime it with really any color primer. I just like gray primer on the part 3 and 4 mask, and I'll tell you why when we get to weathering. So for the actual color or the spray paint of the mask, I'm just gonna be using the same thing the same color I used for the part 3 mask. This Krylon satin meringue. I don't know why it's not focusing. Pretty weird. But yeah, I'm gonna give the mask a coat of it, maybe a second coat, I don't know, because I have primer on it, and I'll show you what that looks like after. So after painting the mask, that meringue color, what I actually did was I took this razor blade, and I also took my utility knife, and using a reference photo, I obviously, look where the damage was, and I scraped all that off. So now what I'm gonna do before painting the mud and dirt on, I'm actually gonna take this. I'll show you. It's 220 grit sandpaper right there. And I'm gonna very lightly sand over the mask. See, not too hard, not too rough, just to create little scratches so the paint can pick that up. And I apologize for the mic quality. I didn't feel like getting my microphone out. And if you hear like grinding, that's just they're doing our. They're repaving our street and like grinding the roads, and the road's a mess right now. So yeah, that's all that is. So again, I'm just very lightly sanding over the mask to create little scratches, not too rough. I might jump over to 120 grit sandpaper and scratch it up, so I'll show you how that turns out. Okay, so now for weathering, I mixed up this Mars Black and Raw Umber. I mixed just about the same up, just to get this really dirty mud color that I put on this plate. So what I'm gonna do is I may water it down a little bit. I'm gonna put it on my finger, and then begin to pat it into areas where the paint needs to be there for all the weathering and mud, and make it look a rain splotch, because some of the movie, actually like most of the third act, takes place in the rain, so make it like kind of splotchy, and I'll show you my process of doing that. Road pavers are gone. I also did you guys a favor and busted out my lav microphone. Don't know if you can see that wire right there. So here's most of the weathering done. On my plate, I'd take some on my finger and mostly pat it off, and then put it in areas like here. As you guys can see, take a dry paper towel, rub some of it in like that, and then take a wet one and then wipe most of it off, which I gave a couple layers of that. What I'm actually going to do is look at reference photos, and if it needs some dirt and like spots that there aren't scratches, I will put it there, and then we can put the chevrons on. Here are the chevrons in a box. I actually ordered a bunch of them this entire series, and I'll get the part 3 ones and show you how to like sort of cut them out and put them on the mask. So you can get these on JDF Studios for about so you can get these chevrons on JDF Studios for about $1.50. Just take the scissors and carefully cut out the shape. You want to leave some of that paper on there with them, so you don't, accidentally go too far and cut into the chevron. There you can kind of see like my dirty ass paint covered hands with all the chevrons cut out. Now you're gonna peel it off. Make sure that the only thing you're peeling is the tape with the sticker, so you can see there's that tape that has the Chevron sticker on there. Sorry for that noise outside. Now looking at a reference photo that you can't really see, I'm gonna carefully put it on. Make sure it's accurate, and now that that Chevron is on there, looking pretty good for the most part. I'm gonna push it on there, make sure it's stuck on there, and then making sure that it's stuck on there, you're going to take the other tape off. It may pull the sticker up, but that is okay. You can just re-ensure that it's down again, which it is. So repeat that for the other two ones. So now that the chevrons are stuck on there, you can see in reference photos that maybe like a quarter, maybe a third of this chevron is missing and half of this top one is missing. So I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife. First I'm gonna outline it when I cut up and down, so I can remove the paint in the line and do weathering from there. So I'll show you the process of that. So I removed all of the parts of the chevrons that are supposed to be missing. I'm just going to do a little bit more weathering over those just to get like sort of the bright red that they have off there, and then we can just move on to the blood effects. So now that the weathering is all done, you can see that I'm going to mix up this cadmium medium red hue, whatever it's called, and then the same Mars black we used with the raw umber, but just Mars black, not the raw umber, and this reddish hue. I'm gonna put a lot of the red hue, only a couple drops of black, only like 2 or 3 drops of black, because we want the blood color to be realistic. We don't want too much black in there. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna sort of like put it on there. So I got the blood color I really liked to paint on the axe cut. So taking the brush that I dipped it in the red paint for the blood color, I'm gonna take a paper towel, I'm gonna get some of it off, and then I'm gonna have it sideways, and I'm gonna paint it on like this to get more of like a realistic splatter. You're gonna have to do this multiple layers. Be careful not to overdo it, do it too much to the side, so I'll show you my process of doing that. Again, it's not really stippling. I want to say stipple, but it's not really doing that. You want to get it all the way down the axe mark. Of course, do the other side. So for the most part, this is pretty much what I like. What I did was I would put the brush flat and then, well, you can't really see. What I would do is I'd put the paint on there flat like that, and then put the brush like that to give it more of a texture. Now what I'm going to do, you can see how it's still like that yellow in there. I'm just going to take the paintbrush and then just make it red for more blood. And I'll do that for the mask, and I'll show you what it looks like after. And of course what I'm doing is taking most of the paint off the brush and just going on the outside very carefully to make it just look more of like a splattered look. You don't want to overdo it, because then it'll be too much blood and you'll have to take some off. It's pretty much what I'm liking right there. I'll do it for the other side too. And that's pretty much how you do the blood. So now for the clear coat, well, I'll show you what the clear coat is. So what you're going to want to do to finish this mask off and actually make sure it's all dry, you're going to want to take this Rust-Oleum Universal High Gloss Clear Coat. Make sure it is high gloss for the Part 3 and 4 masks. And you're just going to give it one coat because it's high gloss. So, this damn thing's stuck. I'll just do it off camera. No, actually the second best option, since the high gloss clear coat isn't working, is this Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear Enamel. It's just a clear gloss coat, and I'm going to spray that in over the entire mask. You might need a couple of coats of it because it's just a regular glossy clear coat, not a high gloss, so I'll see about that. Just make sure Give this guy a pretty good coat. And we'll wait for that to dry. Okay, so something went wrong with the clear coat. I think it's because I sprayed it too heavily, but I don't really know if you can see that. But no, you can't see it. But it all along here, it created like these kind of like bubble ridges, and right down here it did too. And I kind of peeled it with my finger. All around the top 3 snaps, but they're covered up by the straps. Honestly, though, you can't really see them. You can just really, pay attention to the blood wound and stuff on the mask. And I think the mask turned out great for a $4 mask, honestly. Here, I'm gonna try the mask on. I honestly think, obviously, for a $4 mask, it looks actually kind of fantastic. Not, trying to toot my own horn or anything. Here are the part 3 and 4 masks side by side. I think they look pretty awesome. Next up is going to be the part 5 mask, which is going to tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. I don't really know, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. I'll see you later.